I have generated more than $4 million in e-commerce in the past years, and my students have generated more than $70 million in e-commerce, and I'm going to reveal you the exact strategy we are using to make so much money with e-com. You guys probably don't know me yet, but you probably heard about my SaaS Mania and Drop Magic that have been used by more than 200,000 dropshippers around the world. But that is not all today's subject. First, if you want to be able to keep having results after years, you must be aware that e-com changed so fast, and same for the strategies. So if you want to be the more efficient possible and get better results day after day, year after year, you must always watch your competitor. And then find the new methods that you must implement in your business to always stay profitable. So now let's talk about the current strategy, the same one my students used this month to get these results. So I will start by explaining you the strategy I was using in 2018, because if you want to understand the new strategies, you must understand also the old ones. In 2018, it was possible to be profitable even with a poor quality website and with poor quality creatives. But the product had to be good. It was so important. And you will see that it's still the case, but even more in 2018, because the website and the creatives wasn't count, okay? It was not important. And because of that, it was possible to test the product very, very quickly in 3-4 hours maximum. And that's why it was recommended to test a minimum of 1 product a day. And if you had a team, for example, when I have my team in 2019, 2020, we were 4 and we have the possibility to test 15 products a day. So it was possible to test a lot of products every day because it wasn't taking us a long time to test the product. Then in 2022, the strategy has changed. It wasn't possible to run ads on a bad quality websites. So we had to create good website. We had to create good creatives, and the product was still very, very important. Okay. And because of that, because we had to spend more time on the website and more time on the creatives, I think that it was taking us maybe between 2 to 3 days minimum to test the product. So it was not possible to test more than 2 products a month. So as you can see, it changed so fast because all the people that were thinking, okay, I still have to try 1 product a day to be profitable in 2022, they were trying bad websites, and of course that they didn't get any results. And that's why we have started to see videos, dropshipping is there, etc., because people were really thinking that it was not possible anymore to be profitable because they didn't know what was required to be profitable in 2022. So at that time, I was testing around 2 products every month. Now, let's talk about the current strategy I am using and all my students are using to get better results in 2025. So nowadays, it is still required to have a good website. It is still required to have good creatives, and same for the product. But the time to test the product has passed from 2 weeks to 3 to 4 hours maximum. So you are probably asking yourself why we don't test 1 product a day if it takes us 3 to 4 hours maximum to test the product, and you will understand why in a few minutes. But how is it possible to be able to have a good website, good creatives, and a good product, and to spend only 3 to 4 hours? Because this is exactly what we were doing in 2022, but we were spending more than 3 days to build a website. So the difference is, of course, AI. You now have the possibility to use ChatGPT, to use Gemini, Midjourney to generate images, to generate the copywriting, the structure of your product page. You can do whatever you want and you will save a lot of time. You can also use Mania to find products, competitors, and creatives. And you can also use Drop Magic to build store, generate images, and generate your copywriting. So now you are probably going to ask yourself, so does it mean that the only thing that has changed is the time you will spend on a website? No, of course not. There is a lot of things that has changed, and I will share them with you right now. So the first, if we take a look at the difference between the type of product page I launch nowadays and the type of product page I was launching in 2022, there is a big difference. It's the offer. The offer in 2025, 2026 is more important than ever. Why? Because the average CPA that you could had during the testing phase in 2018 was around 10 to 15 euros. And nowadays it will be more expensive. Why? Because of course that there are more advertisers on Meta, on TikTok and everywhere. So of course that it leads to an increase of the ad costs. And because the cost of the ads have exploded, it means that if you want to still be profitable in 2025, 2026, you will have to either increase the AOV or increase the commission rate. And how you can do that? By improving your offer. So this is why the offer in 2025 is more important than ever. So what's next should I focus on if I want to get results in 2025, 2026? The marketing angles. Why? Because this is something we were not paying attention in 2018, but nowadays it is very, very important. Because I will show you an example. This is a very, very famous product. Maybe you have probably seen it. This is like a ear plug. It helps you to protect your ears. And as you can see, if you just check the traffic is huge. They have several millions of visitors every month. And what Ears, for example, has done is that they have launched the same product, a saturated product. They have just changed the marketing angle, okay, and they try to do something more premium. As you can see, they have made a partnership with Saint Laurent. So this is a dropshipping product, okay? They are doing dropshipping. Of course, that they have improved a bit the product, but at the end, they still do dropshipping. So they have just adapted the marketing angles, and thanks to that, they have the possibility to still be profitable, even if the product itself is already saturated. And we have another example with Arteviv. This is a very famous website on the product. And what they have done is, once again, they have changed the marketing angle and the persona, and they target only people that own a motorbike, okay? And if they own a motorbike, it means that they want to reduce the wind noise, the noise of the moto itself, or when they're on the road for a long time, they want to reduce the noise, okay? And they target only these people, and it works pretty well, okay? They have a lot of traffic every month, as we can see, more than 50K. And if you take a look on the ad library, with their ads, they only target the person who own Moto, the original Moto AirPlug, the original Moto AirPlug, and they have launched more than 5,000 ads. So using new marketing angles allow you to be profitable on saturated products because your new angle enable you to target a new audience. Another example is with this product. This is a very famous product. I remember that I had a student in 2022. He had reached 1K day with this product. It was like 3 years ago. And nowadays, you can still see some people that are still profitable, but they have changed the marketing angle. And for example, here we can see that they target postpartum mama. So this is really important in 2025. If you want to still be profitable, you must think about the marketing angle you are going to use to advertise your product. And then, is it finished? Is it done? No, of course not. We are not finished yet. Something that has changed is the ads, the way you advertise. So in 2018, the goal was to have a good media buyer, okay? Because if you had a good media buyer for the same amount invested, you could have a different return on investment. Nowadays, that doesn't make any sense because the way you will advertise doesn't have any importance. The only thing that is important is the creatives that you are going to use. So that's why nowadays you have a lot of creative strategists. This is a very, very famous job, and you don't have anymore any good media buyer, and all the good media buyer that were good in 2020, now they became creative strategists, okay? So why? Because as I said, nowadays the organization of your ad account doesn't affect the results, but the creatives are changing everything. So this is also why it won't change much if you do a CBO or ABO, and if you have heard someone that was saying, yeah, you must do a CBO if you want to be able to scale. No. That's false, okay? Like one of my students like 2 weeks ago reached $5,000 a day with only one ad set in ABO with 1,000 euros of budget on one ad set. So it means that we don't care about the organization. What counts the most are the creatives. So because of this changement, as I said, we don't care anymore if you launch an ad in CBO or ABO. You can scale, you can do a horizontal or vertical scaling. It means that you can duplicate the ad set or you can just increase the budget on the ad set. It will still work if the creative is good. And there is no more scaling level, okay? I did a video on my French YouTube channel because I think that you have probably heard that English is not my native language. So I did a video on a shop that I launched like a few months ago and I reached $11,000 a day in only 7 days. And that was not possible in 2018 because you had scaling level, okay? You had to respect a percentage of increments on the daily spend every day, okay? And it was not possible to go from $100 of budget to $1,000 of budget in 2 days. Nowadays, it is possible, okay? So as a result, it gives more importance to the creatives than ever. And that's logic at the end because the creatives are the first thing that people will see from your brand, okay? They will see an ad, maybe they will click on it, maybe they will read the product page and add the product to cart and buy the product. But at the end, the first thing that they will see are the creatives that you are going to run. So as you have probably understood, we have seen a lot of changements in the e-commerce sphere since 2018. And this is very, very positive, belongs me, okay? Why? Because if you take a look on the short and mid-term business, there is no evolution, okay? And when a business doesn't evolve, at the end, the business will die, okay? And it's the same with everything in life. And if a business evolves year after year and you can see a constant evolution, the business will still be profitable for the long term. So e-com is obviously a long-term business and the best is yet to come for the e-commerce industry. So guys, I still have a lot of things to share with you. So you will choose what you want to see for the next video. I have 3 propositions. I can do either a tutorial on how to find the best product before anyone else and have the best hit rate possible when you will test the products, how to build the best website possible with a high conversion rate, or the best strategy to make the best creatives possible. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a pleasure to do this first video in English. I hope that you understood everything with my terrible English accent. Leave me in comments what you want for the next one and see you for the next one.